Hey Poppy, I will say for being a new seller, I was very pleased going through your closet. I think you're off to a really great start and you're going to be making more sales in no time. You have a really good foundation. So the three things we'll look into in order to improve to make your sales a little bit better, we'll be looking at your photos and just having better consistency, your pricing, and then the items that you're selling. Starting with your photos, when I was going through, obviously you're just shared. I was like, okay, perfect, we got some white backgrounds, everything's consistent. But then I went just in, it looks like you're not doing that anymore. I don't know if these are realists, but I would say go back into doing just like your white background on the hangers. I see you have different ones where it's like using a mannequin. I will say, I think they just lay better on the hangers and they're easier to put on. So I would just say keep up with the hangers, kind of like this Anthropology, and just use a background remover like Photo Room or Vendu, and that'll make it a little consistent instead of having things all over the place. And even, this is getting nitpicky, but just making sure your angles are front on. Even with this vest here on the mannequin, it seems like a little tilted. Even those like slight differences can make a difference. I'm all about having everything being super cohesive down to the angles and how far away it is. So work on that and then you'll be perfect with your photos. Second is your pricing. I will say I think it is a little bit on the higher side for the items that you're selling. So really tuning in to how you're deciding your pricing will also help us in the future, just making sure whatever you're posting is going to be in line with the demand on Poshmark. So for example, let's take this Veronica beard dress. You have a price for $175, but when we go to sold listings, a lot of the sales are a lot lower, closer to like, even there's some one at like 29, 30, 40s, 50s. It can go up to hundreds, but when we see this, even though there are some that are a little bit higher, we never like to go in thinking like, okay, that means I can sell it for that much, because there's so many different factors that come into play. So always err on the side of caution with things like this, especially when we take into consideration that when we look at the availables, there's a ton of saturation. Even if it's just not this color, it looks like there's a couple different colorways, but they're very similar. And so because of this, we see there's a lot of saturation, there's a lot of solds, it seems to be like a lot more just like availables even than is sold. And when we go in, you can still search by just share to see kind of the sales of when they had occurred. It hasn't been like that many that have been selling in the past, especially looking into the winter time. So I would say with 175 is a bit on the high side. Even if you want to just price it at 100, I mean, that's close to half what that price is. It's still a lot better, but I'm not even sure if it would sell at that price. If you want to be like super quick, I'd probably post this for like $79. So just make sure you're doing that kind of analysis for all the items that you're posting. I don't think there's anything too wrong with the items that you are listing. I would say, I think if you decrease the prices, you might have a little bit more likes on your items. Looks like you're finding some decent brands. I think what just comes into play for your sourcing is just remember to be still really specific about style and even size. Like for instance, these Madewell pants are size 23. I personally do not pick up any size like 23, 24, extra smalls unless it's like the most insane in demand style, because those sizes do not sell well. And then even for instance, these frame pants, I'm not sure if they're like capris or what, I don't know. The style of them kind of looks a little bit older. I don't know if you just picked them up because it's frame, it's really exciting to find a brand like that, but style can play a huge role into it. So really just making sure that when you are picking up based off brand, that you're really considering style as well, and that you're doing the research when you're in the store and seeing, okay, is this something that is selling, instead of just picking it up and then hoping for the best and pricing it around just like other frame stuff in general. This goes for everything else in your closet as well. But again, great start so far. If you have any questions, let me know, but I think these three things will really help you out.